Mantadi National Park, one of the finest national parks in Madagascar, and we're looking in particular for some of the ground rollers. The ground rollers are an endemic family of birds found only in Madagascar. They're very shy, they're very difficult to find, and hopefully we'll get a look at them.
There's nothing like a typical day with Russ. You can expect the unexpected.
It's very hard to follow Russ in the field, because he's always after something. He always wants to see new things, and so you have to run after him. They're very shy. Very quiet, very quiet. Oh, stop. Ooh, boy, they're fast. See him? You see him jumping around? Oh, sit still, baby. Sit still. Oh, nice. Oh, great shot.
Where'd it go? Where is it? Wow.
Ready? Here we are in the Virungas National Park.
Kopanami River at Fungo Island.
Congo portion of the Virunga volcanoes. Je vous donne ça pour votre bibliothèque.
He's one of these kind of guys that makes you angry because he speaks Portuguese and Spanish and German and some Malagasy and French and an irritating amount of languages.
One day he could be meeting with heads of state and leave the meeting, change into his vest and his shorts and his hat, and literally be on a plane, on a boat, trekking through the jungle, discovering species or talking to indigenous people.
Russ's office and home were always littered with memorabilia and primitive weapons and things, and he's very interested in the culture of the native peoples everywhere. He's a collector, wants to preserve all sorts of traditions.
I actually tried to clean his office. Not even the whole office, just his desk. He was very, very upset. Then it just sort of reverted to its natural state, you know, like a forest does.
In a career spanning over 4 decades, Russell Mittermeier has been chasing his passion around the globe. Initially drawn to primates, Mittermeier was one of the first biologists to become concerned with species conservation and sustainability of their environments. This led to studies of tamarins in Brazil and an assortment of species in Madagascar. He was the first scientist to discover an astounding 12 subspecies of frogs, monkeys, lemurs, and even a lizard.
All the chameleons here are found only in Madagascar and nowhere else. Last count, there were 78 species, so this is the global center of chameleon diversity.
Mittermeier focuses on the expansion of Dr. Norman Meyer's concept of working in biodiversity hotspots. These hotspots are home to the world's richest ecosystems, but are also the most threatened.
We have 35 of these hotspots. If you want to maintain the diversity of life on Earth, it's inevitable that you have to work in these hotspot areas. Madagascar really stands out. I really believe it's the world's #1 highest priority biodiversity hotspot.
Madagascar is mainly nature and people. And what we are trying to do here in Madagascar is to try to have these two main aspects live together. One of the people who really brought us this idea was Russ. His persistence, his eloquence, his stubbornness sometimes has really making sure that biodiversity remains at the forefront of the preoccupation of people here.
As president of Conservation International, an organisation that has contributed to the protection of more than 260 million acres of land and sea, Mittermeier has influenced changes in policy that have protected countless species and land areas. But on any given day, you're more likely to find him on the road, doing what he loves the most.
As hard as in every country in the world, I don't think there's anybody else like that really gets it and that's willing to just keep going and never stop.
Defeat is not part of my vocabulary. I love this stuff. I've always loved it. There's nothing like the experience of being out there and interacting with nature on a first-hand basis. You just have to be optimistic, and you just have to continue pushing.
This is a guy who's bigger than life in so many ways. The world is a vastly better place because Russ is out there. What an extraordinary person.